Good evening. Good evening. I hope everyone is well. Lots of you already in the room. So tonight we have a very special lady on the show. Not only is she Cam's mum, but she is a medium, a spiritualist. Now runs her own church. Lives in Glastonbury, which is an amazing and wonderful place. So I'm going to bring Louisa up. And she can say a little bit about what she does. Feel free to ask any questions because I am on my own this evening. Restream is playing up, so I can't get everybody on that I need to get on. So drop your questions in the chat. Let's make Louisa feel welcome. I know a lot of you follow her channel as well. So I'm going to bring this special lady up now. Good evening.
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I've been looking forward to coming on tonight. Been very excited. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be good. How was church service?
The first service was amazing. It took us by surprise. We had the hall filled to capacity. We couldn't fit another person in. And we were sitting there because we had a certain amount of chairs set up, and we were sitting there, and these people just kept pouring in, and we're thinking, oh, and there were people sitting on tables, on the floor, on baby chairs. It's just
That's brilliant. So, well, at least it worked.
It worked.
It's what you wanted. It's what you wanted. So
Yeah,
that's good.
and some good
And then
things.
the next one's next week?
It's on the 25th. It's this Sunday coming.
Sunday.
Actually, the 25th, yeah.
No, that's
After
good.
the full moon.
Oh, joy.
Yes, yeah, the full moon. We're on the run up, aren't we?
I've got loads of chocolate and the hot water bottle ready for Cam, so that's fine.
Yes,
we all know what he's like. And I bet you're locking Jim away as well, aren't you?
Jim locks himself away. He goes off into his man cave.
Oh dear, bless. So would you like to tell the wonderful audience a little bit about yourselves?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Rob. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I'm currently living in Glastonbury. That's a place where I've always wanted to be. That's where I've ended up, and I think that's where I'm probably going to stay, I guess. But my spiritual journey, started when I was way back in my 20s, and it started with healing, actually. And I had no intention of becoming a medium. And I was very fortunate to work with a very well-known psychic surgeon called Ray Brown and his wife, who was my mother-in-law at the time, and the boy's nan, Cam's nan. And
Right.
and then I started to do healing, and I trained as an aromatherapist. And as I started to give healing sessions to the clients, and I started to become aware of the spirit world, it all happened very, very naturally. And I just would sense that somebody was joining me from the spirit world. And with the client's permission, I would ask, oh, can I give you this message? And that's how it all began for me, was with the healing modality. And as I went on to do that, I then worked on Sky TV. I was a studio psychic on there. So where you'd go on and give workshops and talks and readings and things on live on TV, which I really enjoyed. Did that for a couple of years. And really, so my journey really started with the healing, went through to the TV, the tarot, and then I ended up working as a platform medium when I got to my 40s. And a platform medium is where you demonstrate your mediumship to a live audience publicly. And I started to work a lot with the spiritualist churches. Then I moved to Germany. I went to Germany. I lived there for a few years where I held seminars. I had a church out there as well. And now here I am in Glastonbury. Yeah. So still go out to Germany sometimes, Rob, which I really enjoy. Yeah. And hold seminars out there.
And Glastonbury is I had the pleasure of coming down at Christmas and spending a few days there, and it's amazing. And I love the tour. I think the tour is a lovely place. So,
well, it's a very sacred site, the tour. Very ancient lands here that go way back. And the Glastonbury Abbey is one of my favourites. I go there to meditate a lot and just really connect with spirit, connect with my own spirit. And yeah, this land is, it's not just, I really link Avalon,
Yeah.
the Avalonian energy here of the ancients. And it's beautiful. Yeah. And when I first came here, I just knew that I had to stay.
Well, when I come back down with his lordship, then I'm going to make sure we go to the Abbey next, because I didn't get round to that last time
You
because we
must
went with you.
go. Yeah. I mean, there's the energies there are quite incredible.
Oh,
Worth a visit. Yeah.
so you also do a bit of paranormal investigations as well.
Oh, yes, I've worked a lot with paranormal. That's one of my passions, actually. Um, I used to run a paranormal team here in the UK, and then when I went to Germany, we worked with an already established paranormal team, and we did a lot of TV work and stuff like that with them. And I'm currently with the Avalon paranormal team, and we're going to Shepton Mallet prison to investigate that. It's the oldest prison, I think, in the world, as far as I know. It's closed, but it is very active.
Oh, nice.
And we're doing that in July. So we've got an investigation then, which I'm really, really looking forward to. I've had lots and lots of wonderful phenomena that I've experienced through the paranormal.
Okay. Well, obviously, I used to do a little bit of paranormal investigating, and then I concentrated on doing the podcast more than going out. So, but we're going to have a talk, aren't we, about
Yeah,
doing something,
absolutely. Yeah.
which will be exciting, and we'll try and get Cam involved as well. So that'd be quite nice.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it'll be quite a nice combination, I think.
Yeah, we've got Jerry's in the room from Pennsylvania. Hello, Jerry. Thank you for coming along. Yeah, everyone's coming in from different. It's okay. So this is quite amusing. So, hey everyone, it's Nando on my son's account. So Nando's not feeling too good. So he's normally my co-host, but because Restream is messing around, I couldn't get everybody on that I needed to get on. So it's like, yeah, we're just go with you and me. It's all right.
Yeah, okay.
It's much nicer with you and me. So, you said you do tarot.
Yes, yeah.
Something that's come up this week
Mm,
was Cam done a video talking about what was going on in his head, and then 3 people left him messages. They
right,
all done readings on him and me without asking us,
right. Hmm.
but then told him of my demise. That basically I was going to go out and do a good deed at work and end up not coming home.
Right.
What's your thought and opinions on that kind of thing?
Well, uh, right, okay, yeah. Firstly, the responsibility of the psychic and the medium is huge, because what we say to people that come to us weighs heavily on people, and it can play on people's minds as well. So there's a huge responsibility. Secondly, spirit, in my opinion and experience, would never give information like that. I, as a medium, am not privy to information like that from the spirit. If somebody's going to pass, they're going to pass.
Yeah,
And what help is that giving them by saying you're going to pass in 6 weeks' time, or a month's time, or 2 years' time?
yeah,
It's not going to get, all it's going to do is to make that time for that person unbearable, because they're living that every day, with that in their mind. So the spirit would never do it. I've never been privy to information like that. Ethically, why do people do that? They're either completely deluded, or they are just trying to boost their own ego, make themselves look better by giving
right,
information like that. That, through my experience,
yeah,
and they should not be working at all as a psychic or a medium if they are.
yeah.
So yeah, on all levels, Rob, it's absolutely unacceptable on all levels. Yeah, and not true, I must.
Ah, well, if it's true, it's true. It's like, hey ho. But what made me laugh is like saying that I'm going to go out and do a good deed, but then obviously not come back. obviously, like, people just need to realize that not everyone is of right sound mind, and doing things like that, you could just trigger
Mm.
someone off.
Well, Rob, when people come to a medium or a psychic for a sitting or a reading, they're usually because might be in a vulnerable place. They may be needing something. They need some guidance. They need some help in some way, and they want to be able to leave my office or whoever they go to with some good constructive guidance, some help, something that will uplift them, bring them positively into a good space.
Yeah.
And by giving information like that, how is that helpful? It's not, is it?
No.
In fact, it's damaging for the individual.
Yeah.
To be given information like that, and especially if somebody may be not of a sound, if they're suffering with mental health problems, that they could go away. If somebody's got OCD, for example, really overplay that in their mind constantly. But then there's another point to that as well, manifestation, because we could manifest things if we're continuously thinking it over in our minds. So if somebody says that to somebody, they go away, think about it, they're manifesting negativity and negative things in their life.
Yeah, and then it will definitely all go wrong.
Potentially, it has the potential, doesn't it, really? Yeah, so, that's what I've got to say on that, really. But those sort of, I have come across people like that in my journey. And it's it's a difficult one to deal with, really, because they just, why are they doing it? What are they hoping to gain from that? Because they're not connected to spirit.
No.
They're absolutely.
So one of our it's a bit of a joke that he's put up, but actually it made me giggle. So, did you hear in the news last week a dwarf psychic escaped from Belmarsh prison? The police said there is still a small medium at large. You know what? I think that's hilarious. Thank you, Conatron, for that. That's brilliant.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, a bit of humour.
And you know what? You have to.
You really do have to. Yeah, it's so important.
With podcasts, it's like you do get some pretty damning comments sometimes, and it's I think you open yourself up to when you leave videos, but sometimes people just need to think before they comment. So
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So your online seminars. So you've got one coming up, haven't you?
I have. I've got a mediumship mentorship that starts on the 4th of March.
Okay.
I was a bit, held back for a while for doing things online. Because I really love teaching in person. That's, I feel it's great, isn't it? When you're in person, you're sitting in a seminar, you can ask questions and blah, blah, blah. And I sort of held off doing things online. But actually, I've been doing Zoom sessions, readings, and the connections are really lovely. Okay. And I've been able to reach out to people in all over the world, which is equally nice. So I thought, well, actually, we'll do some teaching online. So I've opened it up to doing teaching online. I mean, I still hold the in-person seminars as well. But with the mentorship, I've done that in 3 stages. So it's part 1, part 2, and part 3. And it's to take people from the very, very beginning to do the inner work, because that's what's absolutely vital, is that we do, before we embark on any spiritual development, that we develop our inner self, lay the foundations, if you like, Rob.
Yeah.
And then the second part is for these the psychic senses, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, like sort of feeling, clairsentience. We're working with the psychic, and for people that, and then we get in the third part 3, we go into spirit communication, opening up yourself to the other dimensions, to the higher dimensions of the spirit world. We can all do that. We all have the ability to do it. So it's a very gradual process, taking people through step by step. And I found that through my years of teaching, that when you start with laying the correct foundations, the rest of it can just really open up like a beautiful flower. And it's lovely to see where people might go with their development, because not all of us will be mediums. We might open up and decide actually we're a trance medium. We may realise that where our gifts lie. Maybe we're a healer. Maybe we want to stay with the psychic and not go into the mediumship development. So people start to develop their own awareness of what their own gifts are.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Well, as Jim said at Christmas, he found it quite overwhelming when the three of us were all in the room together, like you, me, and Cam, because like we were all like tapping into things, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going."
Whoa, he's incredibly psychic.
Yeah,
He really is. So
and
the
so
three of us
knowledgeable.
together.
Yeah, very knowledgeable as well. It's like
Oh yes,
he
highly
could tell
intuitive.
us everything about Glastonbury, which was fun.
Yeah, he's Mr. Avalon, isn't he?
Yes. So we have a question.
Okay.
Can poor mental health block mediumship?
Interesting. All health issues can. What can happen? From my experience, I'll speak from that. When I'm ill or poorly or not feeling myself, then my spirit team will step back. Now, why do they do that? The reason is that they work with the spirit always work with the universal law of the conservation of energy. And the conservation of energy is they will not use our energy if we are poorly and we need that energy to heal. Okay, so if I've got flu or I've got a cold, my team step back, I don't work. So, and the same can apply to if we're suffering mentally as well. It's the same as physically. So when we need our energy to get ourselves better, our vibrational frequency to improve, the spirit will be there in the background, but it can affect our ability to work. However, can I just elaborate on that a minute? Because from my experience as well with people with mental health issues who have been diagnosed, I'm not talking about all here, I'm talking generally, is that a lot I worked with some people with mental health conditions in care for a little while, and what I found was they were very, very highly sensitive, most of them, very psychic, very spiritualized people, actually. And where our system of health, the medical system, doesn't recognise that, you see. So, and I noticed it a lot with people that had been diagnosed with schizophrenia, that they were hearing voices in the head, and actually they were having mediumistic experiences.
Wow.
Yeah, hearing the spirit.
That's very good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. We have another question. Where is it? Louisa, do you believe we are all born gifted, but as we grow older, we can lose that gift?
Absolutely. Every soul comes into this incarnation with their spiritual gifts intact and their psychic centers. If you look at little baby, their eyes are wide open, aren't they? They're bright as a button. Their psychic senses are all alive, and it's a very natural part of us. It's who we are. And what can happen as we go through life, we can close those down, or they become closed down, because a child may be seeing spirits. A lot of children have spirit friends, and the parents, oh, don't be silly, that's nonsense.
Imaginary friend.
Yeah, and then the child begins to close down. And what can happen, what I've found happens, Rob, is in a lot of experiences, is that there's a situation you might go through your whole life where you're closed down, you're not feeling psychic or mediumistic or anything, and then some big event happens in your life, and like a trauma or something happens, and everything is opened up again. That awareness, the curiosity is opened up again, and people start to flourish in their psychic abilities. And I've seen this a lot with students, mature students particularly.
Yeah. Ah, okay.
So they're always there.
Yeah.
They're always there. They just need reactivating and opening again.
Just need a charge up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Katie says, thank you very much. She's trying so hard, but she's getting frustrated with not being able to So that was the first question that was asked. Sarah says, thank you very much for your answer. If there's any more questions, please send them into the chat and we can get them up on screen. So with your with Germany, what do you do when you go to Germany? What do you hold seminars or?
Yes. So when I go to Germany, I've got an organizer out there that I work with in Bremen, which is in the north. And I've been working with this organizer for quite a few years. And when I go there, it's private sit-ins. So I'll be busy. My feet don't touch the ground. As soon as I'm there, it's just boom, you're off. And it'll be a weekend seminar as well. And it's wonderful. I love it. I do manage to try and fit in something pleasurable when I'm there. Last time I was there, I went to one of the Christmas markets, so that was really nice because they're spectacular.
Yeah.
And Germany is incredible because it's like you're going back in time with Germany. And what I mean by that is that the people there are very traditional in their approach to mediumship. And there's such a huge curiosity and willingness to learn about it as well with the German people. And it's so nice to work with them. It's really lovely. I really enjoy it when I go there and to see how they get on and how they develop, in their own way.
Okay, no, that's good. That sounds like fun. Obviously, we're planning one in Brighton.
We are.
So,
Yes. Yeah.
it should be
About that actually. It'll be a little bit different, similar, but I'll be doing sit-ins, and then we're going to do an evening with spirit. Shall I explain about what that is?
Yeah, go for it.
So an evening with spirit is something that is quite unique because most demonstrations, evenings of mediumship, are literally just a demonstration of mediumship. But I got this inspiration when I was sitting in Wells Cathedral, and it definitely was a download from spirit. And the feeling I got was to bring in something different. So what I've decided to do with the evening with spirit, it opens up with a meditation. And then we do an interactive workshop. I give a talk on psychometry or some spiritual subject. And then we do, so say if it's psychometry, for example, and then we do the interactive workshop. So where the audience gets to have a go because we're all psychic, you see.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be able to show people that they too can do this stuff. They can do this. They have got psychic abilities. And when I've done it here in Glastonbury, everyone's been really overwhelmed with the results that they've got from trying the psychometry. And then I go into a demonstration of mediumship afterwards. So it's a bit of an evening where rather than just giving the demonstration, where the communication, it's an interactive audience participation as well.
Oh, that's really good. That's nice and different as well because you don't see much of that. Yeah.
We don't. No, it's completely different.
Yeah, people will stand on the stage and say they've got someone coming through and that, but yeah, you don't see big groups getting involved. So that's
yeah, and it's been an experiment for me, but it's actually worked really well.
Yeah. So we've looked at a couple of locations. We're waiting. We've had an email from the Spiritual Church that says they don't hire out the hall.
Okay.
But we're waiting to hear back from the big church at the bottom of our road that has a car park and it's being transformed into a cathedral. So.
Oh right. Okay. Is that so what sort of church is that? Christian or
Church of England, I think.
Yeah, they probably won't accept it.
Well, they hire out halls for all religions, so they got little rooms, so they may accept it, but we'll see. We'll see what they say as when we get
there.
We have another question. They're coming through now. Let's have a look. Louisa, would you say that being gifted runs in the family?
Interesting. In my family, as far as I know, I'm the first one to be a medium, have mediumistic abilities. I don't know about my ancestors going way back, but nobody that I know in my family actually had that ability. However, Cam has that ability.
Yes.
And his dad, Cam's dad, is very, very psychic. His mum is a medium. Cam's nan is a medium. And so is Cam's granddad a medium. She used to run a Spiritualist Church in Bury St Edmunds.
Okay.
And she's the lady I talked about who is now married to the psychic surgeon.
Yeah.
So I would say, from that point of view, yes and no, really. Because on the Cameron side of the family, it definitely does run in the family. But from my side of the family, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't. Because I'm the only one.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
definitely Cam does have it, because we both bounce off each other sometimes. Like,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
like I've got a little bit, he's got a little bit, and it's like, my other housemate's in between both our bedrooms, and he's like, "Will you two shut up?" And we're not even talking. It's literally like he can sense that something's going on. Bless him.
Right. You're all sensitive then.
Yeah, very sensitive in this house. Forever crystals, saging, incense burning. I've got incense burning now.
Lovely, isn't it? I just love it. It's great. Yeah.
Cam came in my room today and was like, "Rob, you've got 20 boxes of incense." I was like, "You can never have enough."
Ah.
I'm going to start my own shop.
Well, I had a really interesting experience happen, Rob. I haven't told you. The other night, I was sitting here on my own beside the fire in my lounge, and I've had somebody contacted me who is a long lost cousin.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so I didn't even know she existed, and she sent me a photograph of my uncle who's in spirit. And as the photograph came through, I'm here alone in my house. I could hear somebody walking upstairs, boom, 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 on the floor.
Oh, wow.
And because I was alone, I got a little bit spooked. So I went upstairs quite cautiously to have a look. And there was no one there, of course. But it was literally, as she sent the photo through, got the footsteps.
See, the old paranormal investigation gear would have been out.
Yeah, and then I thought, oh, it's okay, it's spirit. I'd rather it be spirit than a human being.
That's it, yeah. We have another question, and this is from Lee. She has said, when you are doing private readings, do you ever pick up on if someone has had a near-death experience or an out-of-body experience?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I do, and I have done in the past. Because when I work, I never know how it's going to go. It's very organic, because really we're just the channel for the spirit. And if the spirit feel that it's important for me to speak about those things, perhaps the person that's come to me maybe didn't have an understanding of what had happened to them, and we bring it up and we talk about it so that they can be educated on it, so they understand it, and then it takes away the fear of what's happened to them. So I've had that experience before. Yes, definitely.
Okay, cool. Windytron asks, "Hi Louisa, I think I might have good intuition. How would I know if I am psychic? My mum is very spiritual and says I have the gift, but I have never experienced anything for over 20 years.
Ah, okay. But you're experiencing intuition. So intuition is usually comes from the seat of clairsentience, which is sort of around where the solar plexus is, just below the rib cage. You get a strange, just that gut feeling that that we know something, or we should do that, or we shouldn't do that, or something's going to happen, or somebody rings us. It's an intuitive feeling. They're going to ring, and then you pick up the phone. It's that person.
Yeah.
Or you walk down the street, you think about that person, and then all of a sudden they're in front of you. That's intuition. So our intuition is the first beginnings, really, of your psychic abilities. We're all intuitive. We all have that. Some at higher degrees than others. But what you'll find is that you probably would benefit from sitting in a development circle or an awareness circle to start to develop and become more aware of your psychic gifts, because it sounds to me like you're quite open to that and quite interested. And if your intuition is really speaking to you, then it's probably time to say might be time to develop it.
Okay. So Katie said that her mum, her sister, and her aunt both have the abilities, and she's been told that she has it too, but she's struggling. Is there any advice that we can, or you can give her for helping her open up a little bit more?
Yes, absolutely. The first thing I say to any student is to sit quietly in the power, sit in the energy, sit in meditation, and listen, and just ask Spirit to help you. Ask them to help you with your development. Show me how I can be of service. What do I need to do next? Ask questions. You can sit. Meditation is by far the best thing that anybody could do for their own development. And sometimes when we first sit, the mind comes in, but as time goes on, we learn to quieten the mind, we learn to still the mind. So when you first start to sit for meditation, maybe listen to some music or a guided meditation so that your mind is kept occupied by that as opposed to your thoughts that are coming in. So I hope that helps. I think that's the first port of call, is to meditate. That's the best thing you could do for yourself.
Brilliant. Thank you. Where can people find you, like social links, stuff like that? If they wanted to join one of your online seminars, where could they find all the information?
So that'll be on my website, Rob, which is louisasullivan.com.
Would it be that one?
And yes, yeah, look at you, Mr.
Oh, look at
Organised.
that. I try to be.
Very professional.
Oh, I try to be.
And on Facebook, it's medium Louisa Marie Sullivan. Yeah, so you can find me on those. And on my website, you can just send me a message, send me an email. I'm pretty good at answering emails, come back pretty quickly. So if anyone's got questions or anything that you want help with, I'm really happy to do that for you.
Okay. Katie's just come back saying she does pick up on things, but she doubts herself.
Oh, that's a big thing, isn't it? Doubting. Yeah, that's one of the hardest things for mediums to overcome and psychics is to actually when we first start to develop, is to learn to trust what we're getting, because it's a very fine line between, oh, how do I know if it's me, or is it really what I'm getting from spirit or from my psychic senses? And that can only be established through training and learning. And when we're training and learning, we must never rush. Always take our time. Take your time. Allow. It's a beautiful opening, a beautiful journey, and we should enjoy it. So, just take your time with it. That's.
Blue Sky Lissa has asked, Louisa, are you able to see, inverted commas, if someone is close to their death date? If so, would you ever tell them, especially if they asked?
So the first part, am I able to see if somebody's close? I only see what the spirit allow me to see, what I'm privy to, really. And I have had an experience once where I have seen that somebody hasn't got very long, and I absolutely would not tell them. Yeah.
You'll tell me at the end of the show, yeah, if you can see my demise coming up, all right?
But it's not something I'm often privy to, honestly. I think probably I've been practicing for over 30 years. And in all that time, I've probably had the feeling maybe once or twice.
Crazy.
So it's not, what benefit is it? We're all going to pass eventually at some time.
Yeah.
But we want to be able to live our lives.
I would like another few years, yeah, at least.
Yeah.
All this hard work I've been putting in, I don't want it to end just yet. So with your readings, people can go on Zoom and get a Zoom reading with you. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah. We can do tarot. We can do mediumship online as well. It works really well. It's really lovely, and even healing. We can do distant healing. I do healing from people in Germany and all over different America, different places, because we're working with energy, and so energy knows no boundaries, and you can still work really, really well with that. So Zoom, I find, works quite nicely, and it means that you're able to reach to people in all different parts of the world as well.
Okay, I have someone's just asked me to go on to Facebook because they've sent me a message. So I'm just going to go on there and find out what it is and why they couldn't put it in the chat.
Okay.
Interesting. As long as this isn't going to say I'm about to die again, I don't mind.
Oh,
Because this is all I seem to be getting at the moment.
no.
It is. Everyone's telling me I'm going to die. It freaks me out. I'm like, okay, cool.
Well, we'll have a chat afterwards, Rob.
Let's have a look. Where are we? Da, da, da.
Oh, there's one there. Yeah, I can see.
Louisa, do you get messages from the spirit world when you are doing live chats like right now? I'll let you answer that one while I see what's going on here.
Yeah, well, absolutely. When I do any talks or whatever I'm doing, I'm always channeling. You know, I channel a lot. So even on here, I can feel my spirit team very close to me, and they help me with answers and information and all of those things. So the spirit world is always very close. You see, the spirit world isn't up there or down there. It's in a dimension that is all around us, a different vibrational frequency. So when we attune to that frequency, we're pretty much attuned to them all the time. So I do get messages like that, yeah, on live chats, and it's usually in the way of information and knowledge and that's coming through as I channel.
Okay.
How are you getting on, Rob? You done?
Well, I don't know what's happening here because I can't see anything from this lady, so I don't know. I'm guessing there's nothing there, or my bots have gone in and removed it. So.
Oh right, okay. Yeah.
So for the lady that was asking, Louise, Helen, Stephanie, I can't see your message. Feel free to put it on the chat here, and we can read it out if it's not too bad. God. So it throws me when people say that. I worry because I worry about what's coming in. Message from Dad. I don't know what that's about. Interesting. Yeah, it throws me when people suddenly pop up and say, "I've sent you a message," and I look and there's no message. I'm like, okay, what's going on?
That's a bit odd. Yeah.
It kind of like
it could be that you're not meant to see it, Rob.
Maybe it's all not right. Yeah, I can't see anything there anyway, so that's fine.
Well, Spirit will be working with us both on this.
Yeah, that's it. So if anyone else has got any more questions, please send them in. Holly Ann says, "Is meditating the best way to open the third eye?"
There is a practice that you can do to open the third eye, and I do that in my meditations when I do an attunement for the psychics and mediums that I'm teaching. We do one specifically to activate the third eye. Now, the third eye is the pineal gland, linked to the pineal gland, which is at the back of the head and towards the middle. And on YouTube, you can get some really nice sort of wave pineal gland opening meditations that you can do. So maybe give that a go because that's really nice. And meditate, and you can ask the spirit to help you to activate the third eye so that you can be more clairvoyant, because the third eye is where we see images. It's clear seeing, the clairvoyance. So you can do those binaural waves, I think they're called. Have you heard of those, Rob? Binaural?
No.
Yeah, binaural. I think that's how you say it. And BINEAL, and they're on YouTube, and I think you can do those. They're pretty good. But you can also do, with my one, I just open the third eye and we do the meditation to activate it. I think I've got it on my YouTube channel actually, so you could give that a go. I've got a video on there saying how to activate clairvoyance. So maybe go and have a look at that.
Okay, so this lady is a medium that wants me to contact her. So we'll see. I've just said I've messaged her. That's what she's asked me to do. Windy Ron asks, "How much are your readings?"
Okay, so there's a variety of different ones. I do 45 minutes is £45, or an hour is £60. And that's both if you're here in Glastonbury in person, or on Zoom.
Or if you book through Cam, you get a discount. Because Cam's got to get his allowance.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bless him. Do you know who your spirit guides are? That's from Cheryl. Now, Cheryl's been with me since the start of the channel. She's my
Mm.
Tasmanian fan. So she wants to know,
Ah,
do you know who
lovely.
your guides are?
Well, I certainly do. Yes, I work very closely with my guides. I've got 4 guides that I'm working with at the moment and a main guide. But what can happen with our guides is as we go through our own development, then the guides can change. Because as we develop, they might be somebody, as we're developing a different gift. So if we're developing the gift of healing, for example, then that guide that will change and the healing guide will come forward. So keeping open minds with guides because they can and they do change as you develop.
I know I've got my nan as my guide. She's
Oh,
always
that's lovely.
there.
Yeah.
And I know Cam's guide because Cam allowed him to speak to me as well, and that was like a bit
Oh,
like
lovely.
overwhelming. It's like, ah. So yeah,
Oh, that's
I know his
nice.
guide. Windy Tron says, "Thank you. I'll book through Cam then just to get a discount." So that's right, and
Oh.
everyone's laughing. Holly Ann, if you go onto my YouTube page, Louisa's channel is in my link. So feel free, go subscribe to Louisa. There's lots of amazing stuff on there, so you will enjoy that. Hello, please. Any message about love or work? My name is Yasmin.
Oh, are we doing messages, are
Well,
we?
apparently so. Someone wants to know if there's any messages.
Okay, Yasmin. Let's see what's coming. If I can, I'll give it my best shot. I wasn't prepared for that,
No,
but
nor,
let's.
nor was I, so this could be good.
um, Love or work? Okay, well, what's coming through is more to do with your work at the moment. And it feels to me that there is some kind of I don't know if there's 2 paths that you're looking at or considering here because it feels like there's a bit of a crossroads that you're at the moment. So it could be that there is a change coming in for you, but it feels like don't rush in. I want to say don't rush in. Take your time, because it feels like the next step that you take is quite an important one. So to sort of feel into that and really wait. Don't just be patient. I feel patience. Yeah. Thank you.
There we go, Jasmine. So yeah, you're at a crossroads. Be patient, and yeah, hopefully everything will be all right.
I feel like I'm back on psychic today.
I know, like with someone's asking, have you got a message from their dad? I'll put it up on screen because I can't say the lady's name.
Yeah, I'm not going to do mediumship on here
Nah,
at
that's
this moment in time. Yeah, if that's all right. Yeah.
no, that's fine. If anyone does want a reading or anything from Louisa, please just go and go on her Facebook. Just drop her a message, and yeah, it'll all be fine because
Do that. Yeah. Yeah.
it'll be easier than doing it live on a podcast because it's
Yeah, well, it also, it can be it's very personal, isn't it? So,
yeah,
I know you can do public demonstrations, but when I work with spirit in that way, then I attune and prepare for quite some time,
yeah.
and my team would be ready for that, but we're not ready for that at the moment.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So, what have you got coming up in the future, like in the next few months? Anything big?
Um, Well, I'm off to Germany again in April. So I've got a whole week out there of seminars and readings and things like that. And the mentorship really is quite a big thing that's coming up for me. And I just wanted to add with that as well that you talk if they want to just jump in midway and do part 2, which is the psychic one that's coming up as well, or just take part 1 and try it out. I'm really happy for them to do that, because you don't have to take all 3 parts.
Okay.
So that's kind of what's coming up. I mean, the Spiritualist Centre as well we've got some really interesting events going on there. In May, I'm working with a psychic artist. And the way that works, when the medium works with a psychic artist, is I will start to demonstrate and bring through a loved one. and it could bring evidence of who they are. And as I'm talking about the spirit person, the psychic artist is drawing that person.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then hopefully the person in the audience will recognise the person, and they recognise them from my description, and it marries together. It's always an experiment, and we see
Yeah.
how it goes. So that's in May. I'm doing that in May with the psychic artist Sandy Ingham, actually, at the centre. So I'm really excited about that, because
That
that'll
sounds
be
good.
very interesting to see how it goes.
Oh, me and Cam might have to come down for that, because
Ah!
we're already coming down in April for something very special, aren't we?
Oh, I forgot to mention though.
Yeah,
Yes, I
go
always
on.
think about my work, you see. But Jim and I, my partner, are having a spiritual blessing on the tour in April on the 24th, the 4th, the 24th. So it's very auspicious. It's on a Beltane full moon, and we're doing it at the moonrise on the tour in the apple orchard. And actually today I've been trying on my outfits with my very good friend Draupadi, who's allowed me to try on some of her beautiful ceremonial gear, and we've been dressing up and having great fun today. So.
Nice, that's good. Yeah, we were looking today at like trains and things like that, so we're going to come down for that, definitely.
Oh, really, been so lovely to have you there, Rob. It really
Yeah,
will. It's
no,
we're,
it'd be
we're going to have some nice friends there. We've got our friend Tim is going to be playing on the harp, and I've got, yeah, it's going to be really special.
no, it'd be nice. Cheryl's asked. She says, "Not to be nasty, I'm just asking. What do you say to people that say you aren't real?"
Skeptical people, of course, we come across skeptics all the time,
Yeah,
and I always say everybody's entitled to their own opinion, of course, but really the job of the medium is to prove survival. To prove that there is a life after death. And we do this through giving evidential information about the spirit world. And when I do a sit-in for somebody, I try to be as evidential as I can. So when I say evidential, I'm talking about bringing through memories that people know, information that nobody could possibly know about somebody, special items, jewelry, names, dates, birthdays, things like that. And how am I getting that information if I'm not linked to spirit?
yeah,
So if as long as the evidence is there, you have to bring the evidence in the beginning of the sit-in, so that the person who's receiving the sit-in knows without any doubt, that's my mum, that's my nan, that's my dad.
wow. Okay, that's a straight answer. Um, this might be a funny question, but can any of your guides be animals?
Oh, definitely. We have spirit totem animals in the spirit world. I've got a wonderful story to share with you on that.
Okay.
It's just a quick story. When I first came to Glastonbury, I went and sat in the White Spring. And the White Spring is an ancient sacred site just underneath the Tor. And I really felt there was a picture in there of a blackbird. Anyway, so I really linked in. I was meditating, linked in with that blackbird, and went home, went to the place where we were staying that night. I was with my partner at the time, and that we turned off the lights, and as we just laid down to start sleeping, we both heard a bird underneath the bed, the wings flapping violently. You know how you hear a bird
Yeah,
indoors? They're,
yeah.
they're going crazy. So we jumped out of bed, put the lights on, of course, looked under the bed, there's nothing there.
Wow.
So I knew then that I connected with my totem animal, which is a blackbird. So
Well,
absolutely, yeah, people can have all different types of animals: wolf, stag, horse, many different types, and they will have different meanings as well.
okay. Well, mine is an owl and a
Oh,
bear. So
beautiful.
I've got an owl and a bear.
Yeah, that's lovely. Owl for the wisdom. Yeah.
Because I'm
Have
old.
you looked up what you are wise though? Have you looked up what bear means?
No, I haven't actually. I haven't.
Find out for you, don't we? And find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But very
Um,
often it's what it means to you, Rob. It's
okay.
yeah.
Perhaps it's me because I'm a cuddly teddy bear. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Katie says her main spirit animal is a deer.
Beautiful deer. He's very elegant and yeah, they're lovely, aren't they?
I'm getting a lot of people saying inbox me because I want to give you an accurate reading. I don't need one. Louisa gives me my readings. Louisa, do you have a psychometry ability to go along with your other abilities?
Psychometry, yes, I do. Um, I'm very fortunate in a way that I can link in and do most things. However, there's one thing that I'm not particularly good at, and that is, and I found this out many years ago, psychometry. You can psychometrize something in different ways. Now, you can hold an item between your hands and just feel into the energy of it, and that's psychometry. Or you can psychometrize a photograph as well. Now, my ability is very strong with photographs. I'm really good because I'm very clairvoyant. So you give me a photograph, I can really go into it and get some lovely information. But you give me an object to hold, especially if it's an envelope, it's not my strongest point. Yeah, but I still do it and I get
Yeah.
some good information, but I'm much better with photographs. It's just something I discovered.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you. That's really nice to know, was Mad Wecker's reply. Sarah G says, Louisa, does the lunar cycle have any effect on your abilities?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. I'd never considered that before, but I would say probably yes. I'd have to say yes to that because we are very affected by the moon, aren't we? Because
Yeah.
we are 89% water, and the moon affects the tides, it affects the water. And I would probably say around the full moon because I get very energized around that time.
Yeah.
That I'm probably, yeah, it's a good time to do psychic and spiritual work. So probably yes is the answer.
Yes, because it's full moon next week, isn't it?
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, and me and Cam are going camping on Sunday. Maybe I'll rethink this idea.
Oh,
Oh, I might rethink this.
well, isn't that so weird? Because you and I are so similar, Rob. Because
Yeah.
I have to consider Jim because he's the wolf. He is like a werewolf, Jim. He's a wolf.
Oh dear.
And he goes into his man cave. And Cameron is similar
Yeah.
in that way. He's really affected by the moon, being a Scorpio as well, and being a medium. And you have to deal with him, don't you?
Yes, well, like I
Yeah.
say, he's got water bottles at the ready, and I think he's got about 6 big bars of chocolate that I brought him, all organic, ready to go, like, as if
Wonderful.
he needs it. But no, he suggested spending time in nature because obviously Cam loves nature. So I said, well, let's go camping, and I thought the full moon was next week.
Oh,
So
I need to buy you a moon book.
yes, I
And
think I'm
then,
going to need to rethink this one. Otherwise, I could be stuck in in the woods with a very angry Cam.
oh gosh.
Oh dear. But yeah, no, it's been really interesting to talk to you and to get more of an insight because obviously we spent a little bit of time at Christmas getting to know each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That
but
was
getting
lovely.
to
It was
yeah,
so nice to have
it
you.
was nice. It was good, and getting to know a bit more about you through this has been really nice. Is there any more questions for Louisa? If there are, please send them on the chat now. Otherwise, yeah, I think we are about done. If there's no more
That's gone
questions,
so quickly. It's flown by, isn't it?
I know. Actually, we normally hit between an hour to 2 hours. I don't. So it depends on what we're talking about. It's like when we do the mental health podcast, they just go on,
Yeah,
and they
absolutely.
don't seem to stop. Um,
Really, gosh,
uh,
yeah.
we
Well,
do a lot for mental health.
it's really good work actually to do that, Rob.
Yeah, I just done my diploma for mental health and well-being, and I passed that online. And then I've just yesterday work sent me one for safeguarding vulnerable adults with mental health, and I passed that as well. It
Oh,
took my boss 8 hours. It took me 28 minutes. So
mm.
Brian says, is there ways to develop a person's empathic powers?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think when we're sensitive, we're very naturally empathic anyway. We're empaths, aren't we? We feel, because the empath is feeling. So again, it's the clairsentience, which is coming from the solar plexus, that area of the gut, the stomach, that gut feeling. You get a feeling about something. So to create more of an awareness of that is just to be aware of it, really. And you can start to, I think, again, a development circle is absolutely the best way to develop any psychic gifts and spiritual gifts in that way.
Cool. We have Holly Ann says, thank you, Louisa and Big Rob, for this chat today. Madwecker says, this has been much fun and enlightening. Blue Sky Lissa says, thank you so much for your time, Louisa. Cheryl says, thank you, Louisa. Katie says, really enjoyed tonight. What a lovely lady. Look at that. See, everyone loves you.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
They'd be mad not to. Cheryl says she could listen to you all day.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl. That's lovely.
I'm a Claire. I'm going to put that up on the screen because I have
cognizant, empathy, and want to further my gift.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, I think if you're wanting to further your gift, you are. I'm not sure if she's asking if she wants what she can do herself or to go to a circle, because again, a development circle is the perfect place if you can find something local to you. But with that, always feel into it to make sure it's the right circle for you as well. Or yeah, have a look at my mentorship as well, because that would be good for you to put the foundations in and then to go on to develop whatever gifts you have.
That's brilliant. Sarah G says, thank you, Louisa. Very interesting. Tracy said, very pretty lady too. Thanks loads, Louisa.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
Holly Ann says, look forward to spending time on your website and your YouTube pages. And Sarah G says, thank you, everyone, for coming. So I would like to say thank you very much for gracing us with your time. It's
thank you, Rob.
Lovely as ever to chat to you. You know that. I think very highly of you, not only because you're Cam's mum, because of how well you took me in over Christmas. So it was really nice to get to meet you, and I've really enjoyed tonight.
Well, thank you,
Jim.
I will do. I'll be speaking to him after shortly, actually. I think he's going to call me.
Oh, brilliant. Cheryl says, it's lovely catching up with all my family on here. So,
oh, that's so lovely.
Because we are one big happy family. If anyone wants to go and follow Louise, all her details are on my YouTube channel. Like I say, she's got loads of stuff on there, on mediumship, etc. So go follow her pages and show her the love that you've all shown me and shown Cam, because Cam's up to like nearly 2,300 subscribers, I think. So.
Wow, that's incredible.
Doing all right. I'll pop you in the green room and I'm going to say my goodbyes, and then I'll come back and chat to you afterwards.
Lovely. Thanks, Rob.
Cheers,
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
So, another great show. And yeah, Louisa is amazing. She's really wonderful. So friendly and so honest and true, which after this week of having those dodgy messages sent through about my demise and stuff like that, it's nice to actually have someone on that's real. What I would like to say is all Louisa's pages are on my YouTube bio, so if you want to go and see her, that's including her Facebook. Just go on there and you can grab it. But other than that, I would like to say my goodbyes. The next live is on Sunday. Hopefully, Restream will stop messing around and you'll be graced with Chris and Nando as well. But who knows? If not, it'll just be me. There is a video going out on Friday night when I'm at work. I can't remember what it's on. I think it's on domestic violence against men. So yeah, much love. God bless everyone, and see you all soon. Big Rob out.